Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel where we talk about the things we love like gaming, shows, and anime. Remember the top 10 DBZ fatalities? Well, we are back with another kick-ass list showing 10 more Dragon Ball Z fatalities that should have been in that first list. And why the hell not call it First Blood Part 2? Give it the Rambo stamp of approval. Yes, Rambo, because he knows how to kill with style. But before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to Frank Hinostroza, The Crazy Gamer, Dario Garcia, Dark Age Draken, CH Gaming, yeah, Zelda King 5291, and that weird Indian guy. I hope all you awesome Scorpions enjoy the crap out of this list, even if it's filled with bloody limbs everywhere, cause here we go! Number 10, Future Gohan. Future Gohan is clearly a fan favorite even though he only got the spotlight for a DBZ special. But that was more than enough to show us how badass this character was. But the moment his life comes to an end is a very sad one. But the worst part is how he died. Most of the Z fighters got taken out with one hard hit or a strong ki blast piercing through their chest, but for Future Gohan, the androids rained a meteor shower of ki blasts directly at him. This was beyond painful and it hurts me every time I see this because, well, we loved him. It's sad to see a badass die this way. Number 9. Cybermen Self-Destruct. The Cybermen may not seem like a big threat at all by now, but imagine facing off against them the moment Nappa and Vegeta arrived on Earth. Their power level was about the same as Raditz, so this was the moment to test their true skills. And like I said, they weren't easy opponents. You gotta be cautious as fuck because these things will spit acid out of their own head. And if you're not too careful, they will grab onto you and self-destruct. Now Yamcha was the first victim of the Cybermen since they used self-destruct, but imagine if it was Piccolo or Gohan instead. The results would be the same. Can you picture an acid-filled creature blowing up on you? That's gotta be instant and painful death. Number 8. Chi-Chi killed by Super Buu. Super Buu killed thousands of innocent lives, but there were a few painful kills he performed. But whether it being turned into an egg and squashed doesn't sound that painful at all, it just shows us how this guy just don't give a fuck. I know Chi-Chi usually looks for trouble by yelling at the almighty powerful warriors and acts like her authority means something, but this didn't work for Buu. Of course, she couldn't hurt Super Buu in any possible way, but she does get annoying to Super Buu, and he wasn't going to take it. Not to mention, she slapped him. She was just begging for trouble, or to be reunited with Gohan since she thought he was dead. Number 7. Dodoria vs Namekian. A lot of Namekians died a horrible, painful death by the hands of Frieza and his minions, but the one by far that got the worst was this Namekian. He appeared to be the guardian of Dende and his brother, so seeing his fellow brothers die in front of him and even a child must have been unbearable. Then Dodoria targets him, and man do I feel bad for this guy. Being pummeled and then having your neck broken is just not a way to go. Like I said, a lot of Namekians died a horrible, painful way, but this, in my opinion, had to be the worst. I know broken neck is like an instant death, but he practically saw it coming minute after minute, and that must have been a horrible experience. Number 6. Death by Explosion. I believe many characters have died this way in the series, but seeing one of the Z fighters go this way was very unexpected. When Vegeta took out Kui by exploding him, I wondered how that must feel. Same thing goes for Krillin. Frieza killed Krillin by exploding him from the inside. As previous deaths, this might seem quick and painless, but exploding from the inside? Just the sight of it helped turn Goku into a Super Saiyan. Gohan should have turned Super Saiyan as well. He spent a lot of time by Krillin's side, so this should have pissed him off the most. Anyways, deaths by explosion from the inside is just not the best way to go, and clearly had to make the list. Number 5. Victims of Gohan in Super Saiyan 2. Remember when Gohan was once a true badass? The Saiyan all enemies would fear once he went Super Saiyan 2? Gohan probably had the most one-hit kills than everybody else. Maybe not more than Frieza, but compared to the good guys who usually choose not to kill right away, even Vegeta decided to mess with his opponents and then finish them off after a quick beating. But Gohan, on the other hand, when you pissed him off, he would teach you a lesson. He would straight up hit you with one single hit that happens to be hard enough to tear through the opponent, turning them in half, and then even explode. The Cell Juniors were the first victims of his immense power, and then Bojack's crew got the same treatment. Wow, how the mighty have fallen. Number 4, Cooler's death. Cooler's death was none other than cooler than Frieza's death. Okay, terrible pun, but honestly his death was pretty cool. First off, he gets taken out by his own attack and pushed so far away that he collides with the sun. Then little by little he's disintegrated, leaving only a small portion of flesh for the big Getty star to absorb. But while he was slowly being torn away by his own attack, including the sun, he remembered that after the destruction of Planet Vegeta, he saw Goku in a space pod heading towards Earth, and he let him get away. That's gotta suck to remember that while you're dying by the hands of that person. Number 3, Angela's death. Angela didn't have a big role, but in the little time we saw him, he performed some interesting moves like stretching his arms long like Piccolo and shooting out a strong ki blast from his mouth like Piccolo as well, and a few other characters. But this was his biggest mistake, as he had no clue how strong Goku was from the rest of the Z Fighters. But also, I wasn't expecting this. Goku tends to simply hit an opponent so hard that they just avoid fighting him and go up against someone else like Piccolo. But here, Goku said, "Not up in here!" and pimp slapped that ki blast back in Angela's mouth. That's gotta hurt. Talk about a mouthful. Number 2, Paragus' death. Paragus was known as Broly's father, and although Broly lived his entire life by his father's side, his emotions never got in the way of his favorite sport: killing, killing, and more killing. Broly clearly has some major issues, but Paragus should have known better than to be by Broly's side after Broly made Paragus blind in one eye. But Paragus had a one-track mind like his son, but instead of wanting to kill Goku, he wanted Vegeta dead. Ironic, as Vegeta only took one hit from Broly. But anyways, Paragus got one of the worst ways to die: getting crushed alive inside a space pod by your own son. And if that doesn't seem bad enough, Broly tosses the crushed space pod directly towards the meteor that was about to land on that planet. Number 1, Spopovich's death. Spopovich may have deserved to die after what he did to Videl, and he would have killed her too if it wasn't a spectated tournament. But the way he goes is just too painful. With the job well done, Babidi rewards him with the most painful way to go in the series. It's very confusing to what he does, but it looks similar to the explosion from the inside of the victim. Only here, it's very slow, and clearly the worst way to die in the series. I don't see how someone could enjoy watching this. Wait a minute, the Z Fighters were watching this. What is it with the good guys watching from a distance and only jumping in after seeing people die? Well, that's it for the top 10 list. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, put a thumbs up. And if there are any other videos you would love to request, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you want to shout out a video request or you want to ask me a question for the next Q&A video, I strongly recommend you post that on my Facebook page. And if you want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it really helps me out a lot. And I'll be sure to let you know when I post up more videos. This is Score saying have an awesome day.